It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Can't believe it. I missed everything.
Miss the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
We all do things, and we have free will to do them, but then sometimes they just make us feel like icky. When was the last time you did one of those things and you probably promised yourself you weren't going to do it again? We'll tell you why we were talking about that Monday morning in the Playhouse. Coming up in a couple of seconds, here comes the podcast.
So how was Trisha's birthday?
It was good.
Did you have like a big leaf? Did you feed her grapes?
No, she's not into that. She was just like, she just wanted to see the family. And so I coordinated with my daughter, with a present I was going to get my wife. One of the things, like, my wife is the girl where she sees something she wants, she just gets it.
Yeah.
So to try and buy her a birthday present is ridiculous because she either doesn't want it or she'd already have it. So one of the things that my wife complains the most about is she has to make too many decisions.
Yeah.
And so we're planning on taking in the Tim McGraw and Dixie Chicks concert this summer.
Fun.
And it's on a Sunday. And so I said, well, here's what we're going to do. We'll spend the weekend in Minneapolis having fun, but you don't have to make a single decision.
I will tell you, being a female and like the head of the family, you just made her day. That's probably better than sex.
I would have, maybe for you.
I'll tell you. It's probably
so
better.
I said, that's the gift. And she was underwhelmed. She wanted, I could tell she wanted something in a box. Or,
no way.
Yeah, she's like, oh, okay. Are we having cake? And I was like, oh. So I felt like I lost the birthday. I thought that was a good gift.
I'm sad for you because I would love that. If I knew I just had to get in the car and like everything was taken care of, I would love that. Oh, that's sad.
So too. That's probably her calling right now to tell me how wrong I am.
Is she going to text me saying that you're wrong?
But it seemed like she was underwhelmed by the whole thing. And so I was like, all right. So now I'm like, all right. So I got to spend the next 3 months trying to figure out what she wants and then buy it before she wants it. The problem is, like, she's in finance. So every time I use the credit card, she sees what I'm buying. Like, it's hard to shop for my wife. And so I'm like, all right, I'll wait it out. Remember when you were a teenager and one of your biggest flexes was, I've been to a whole bunch of states. I've been to 22 states. Did you ever do that? Where you counted them up, like even if you had to just land and catch a new plane in a state, it was one of those. It was one of those flexes. You were like, well, I was there for a while.
Yeah.
How many states do you think you visited?
Oh, you should have asked me this before we went on. I would say I've been to, maybe like 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
You and I were both born in Minnesota. Do you know what our official slogan is? Like, for instance, New York is the Empire State.
Okay.
What is Minnesota?
The land of 10,000 lakes?
Nope. That's not. No. It has to end in state. It's the blank, 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 or blank state.
Okay.
You don't know this. This is embarrassing.
I don't. How do we not have it on a flag somewhere? How do we not know this?
Minnesota is the North Star State.
Oh, my God. I knew that.
You knew that?
The North Star State. Okay.
I'm going to give you a couple of slogans. I want to see if you can actually
tell you what state?
Identify what state these are. Okay. All right. No cheating. Hands off the keyboard. What's the Silver State?
Silver State. Oh, my God. I'm going to say Maine. What is it?
Nevada.
Oh, my God. I was going to say Nevada, but then I thought it was going to say like Sin City.
What is the Great Lakes State?
That would be Michigan.
Michigan is right. Nice job. What is the Gem State?
Oh, the Gem State. Is that the Gem State? California?
It's what you say all the time.
What?
Idaho.
Idaho.
Kat, which state is...
Why are they the Gem State, though? Like, you have to teach us something.
I'm starting here. We'll get there, class.
All right.
What state is the Beehive State?
The Beehive State would be Florida.
Utah.
Okay.
How about the Beaver State?
That would be Oregon.
Yeah.
Seen many there.
How about the Centennial State?
Washington State.
Colorado.
Oh.
How about the Yellowhammer State?
That is a good one. That would be Wyoming. What is it?
Alabama. This one you should get.
Okay.
The Last Frontier.
Montana.
That's the Big Sky State.
Okay.
Alaska.
Yes. I've watched that show.
Actually, Montana,
too.
if you want to be technical, is the Treasure State.
Okay.
So I would say throughout your worldly travels, you failed to really understand where you were.
They really should have that at the airport. Like, welcome to they just say, welcome to Montana.
Which state is the first state?
The first state is, that's right, Rhode Island. Is it an East Coast? Massachusetts. Pennsylvania. Maine. Are there any other ones? North Carolina. Damn it. What does it start with?
Delaware.
Delaware.
Delaware is right. Yes. Good job. Great job.
It's the most boring state. Nobody goes there. Who goes there? Tell me.
I've never been.
Because nobody has.
Nor will I go. This concept is so weird to me because I struggle to get a date, much less several at the same time.
Yeah. Who is dating more than one person right now does sound extremely exhausting. It sounds very expensive right now in 2026. I was inspired to talk about this because I like to watch Maury. I've loved Maury. I've watched Maury since I was 9 years old. I've learned a lot. And, he's had crazy guests on his show.
This woman is accusing this guy of being the father of her twins. I open up the envelope. I look around. I said, this can't be. I looked at the staff. He was the father of one, but not the other.
Oh, she was having twins,
right.
And it was.
And I'm looking around. I'm saying, how did it can't happen? It's fraternal twins.
Wow.
Dang.
No way. So there's guests like that. And then the guest that he had on, she had been back. She was the most visited guest to the show. She had been back 17 times to get DNA results for her child, one child. And she had dated that many men in that short amount of time. That would have to be a 4-week span. Do you understand that?
Did they find the guy? Did they ever find the dude who was the dad?
They cycled through all the men. And I don't know. I had to go on air. I don't know.
Heaven forbid I had to do my job.
I was literally going to throw in another song. I'm like, I am so hooked. I have to find out. But to have that be a dilemma in your life, I can't even imagine.
It sounds like such a circus.
Yeah, to juggle that many people. Who is dating more than one person right now, and how do you even do it?
And as soon as Kat brought this up, Charles has been waiting to tell us. How many ladies are we currently dealing with?
Well, to be honest with you right now, 3. 3 and a possible, to be real with you.
Wow.
This is exhausting.
Yeah, I can't imagine having to juggle all that. How do you do that?
Oh, no, it's definitely not juggling. It's just shuffling. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's cool. No, but here's the thing. Women have no problem having options.
Right.
At all. And once I realized that, I grew up with 5 sisters, and there was always a different friend running in and out the house asking to play with me and play with PlayStation and stuff. So in my head, I learned the game. I was like, okay, cool. Now, I could have 5, but I decided to be a little modest and just,
So
well, we thank you for that.
Is there a number 1, a number 2, a number 3? I mean, do you have them ranked?
I kind of rank them like March Madness. It's like, hey, they all know about each other because the city I'm in is not really too big. So I don't want, nobody to be surprised or
You
shocked.
are a
Don't
pig.
make a
No.
face.
Yes.
It's just, hey.
So they all know about each other, though.
Absolutely.
See, and this is where I would get screwed up. I would give one too much attention, probably.
His saving grace, if they are all okay with it and maybe they're seeing other people, then if you do call them the wrong name, maybe they're like, okay, it is what it is. But that just sounds like so much work. If you don't have any kids and that's all you do outside of work is date other people and that's your second job.
How do you know if you're going to find the right person unless you, you got to kiss some frogs to find your prince? Is that what they say?
So.
I appreciate it, Charles. Thank you. Welcome in. It's the Playoffs with Kat and JJ. You ever been so underwhelmed that it hurt?
Yeah, I remember my mom brought us to this. It was supposed to be an over the top. And this is how far back my memory goes with this. I was 7 and it was a huge Santa event. And Santa was going to be there. The elves were going to be there. We were going to be able to help them make toys. There was supposed to be real snow. And I remember my mom paid like $30 a ticket, even for kids. And we go in, we wait in line. And I remember like the elves were normal people size. Okay. Like, and I'm not saying
They were just short people.
What?
They were just short people.
No, they were like, like 5'6", 5'7". I'm like, I don't know if I can believe that. And then we could see behind the curtain stuff. I'm like, who is responsible for this? I remember at 7 years old, I was irate. I was like, somebody is not doing their job. And like making the toys was like just creating like paper planes and stuff. And I remember my mom the whole ride home. I cannot believe this. I can't get my money back. That's ridiculous. And so that was a big letdown. But recently, the Barbie Dream Fest in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, turned out a lot like that Willy Wonka experience. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Where they only had like one like banner. They had one banner with like a lollipop on it, and people were like, this is what I paid good money for.
I thought on day one there would be a ton of people here. There definitely is not a ton of people here.
Okay, well, I had some time to look around. There just wasn't as much as I thought there would be here, so it's kind of disappointing. Just very sparse. Surprised they don't have more dealers here. There's actually a whole area right here, so I'm just very disappointed about just what I've seen so far.
You tell your daughter we're going to the Barbie Dream Fest, and she's jacked, and you walk in, and it's an empty convention center.
So I was looking at some of the pictures, and it was just like no magic at all. And sometimes too much space is not a good idea. You want people to feel like not crowded, but like, wow, I'm somewhere where a lot of people want to be.
And if it's your first one,
yeah,
start small and know that you can kill it on a small scale.
Exactly.
And then build that up. I'm going to get tortured for this, but I felt this way when we had our first baby.
You did?
Like,
the build
it was
up?
9 months of a build up and everything. And my wife goes through and has the baby. But it was when we got home. Like, there was the magic of having a baby, right?
Yeah.
And then she stays overnight. And I can't remember if she stayed an extra day or not. But I just remember we got home and our son is sleeping in the car carrier. And we just sat him down. And I was like, now what? Like,
Yeah.
it was... It was like going to a hockey game and there's a tie. Mm-hmm. You're like, what the hell is going on here? Like, there's not going to be a winner. But we sat there and just looked at him. I'm like, well, what do we do? Like, It was so underwhelming. I was so like everybody that.
Did you just sit there and wait for him to wake up?
That was it.
Yeah.
We just sat there, waited till he woke up. So, all right, feed him. Like it was.
Yeah. Well, I guess it wasn't an event, but it was something that you were.
I had built it up in my mind that the first couple of weeks that you take a baby home is going to be just wonderful and memories and baby books and everything like that. And I'm just like, what are we going to do? It was so weird. Yeah. And I remember that feeling and I felt horrible thinking, I'm bored with this already.
Yeah.
I mean, the next 25 years are really, really cool. But that one moment, I was just underwhelmed. I was just...
Jess had texted 15 years ago. We paid a local place a lot of money to create a very magical birthday for our older son. We get there that morning with 15 of his closest friends. The doors were permanently closed.
Oh, they went out of business.
They took your money and they ran. Just made me feel really gross just watching all of what you just did.
Well, so like during that last song, my contact was all messed up. I couldn't it had a little thing.
When
did
you start contacts?
2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I got to the point where I had LASIK 25 years ago, and it's to the point where it's just worn off a little bit. And one of my eyes is still really, really good. Like the one that the contact is hurting. I really don't need one in there. But it's like if you clip a cat's whiskers, sometimes you feel off balance.
Yeah.
Like it's only helping very, very little. The other eye needs the help. And so I was just kind of messing with my contact. And the whole time, Cat's like,
knuckle deep in his eyeball, moving it around.
Get this sucker back in. So tell me what happened at the car wash. I'm interested to hear this.
My God. I have all this time because Liam was at basketball training yesterday. So I went to Aldi, brought some stuff to Play-Doh's, did all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to go get my car washed, have a nice clean car for the week. And I go through the car wash, start vacuuming out my car.
It's like a gas station car wash or a car wash car wash?
No, it's a car wash. Start vacuuming out my car. And I'm like, I smell some green. Who's smoking the weed? Who has the weed? I looked to the car next to me, and this man who, when I pulled up, he was like, I thought he was rapping to it could have only been DMX because he was going crazy.
Okay.
But he wasn't. He was talking to someone with that passion, yelling at somebody. I couldn't hear what he was saying because of the vacuums. I was like, I was going to tell somebody, shut your vacuum mouth so we can hear. I look over on the man's left thigh, a huge pile of weed, and he's like, like licking the papers and stuff like that, rolling his own joints, like a whole bunch of them, just going off on somebody. Looks over at me and just gives me a nod like, I know you're not dumb enough to call somebody on me.
It's not illegal.
And it's how much can you have on you?
You can have I think you can have up to an ounce.
I don't know how much an ounce is. Can you show me with your hands? Because
if you have a sandwich bag, probably half of that, maybe a little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. So it was more than that.
He probably didn't have more than he could have had.
It was a huge pile of weed just sitting on his jeans. Yeah. And he was just, I don't know if he had some deliveries
rolling
to
papers
make or what, but it was so strong.
That shocks you now, seeing people with weed out in the open, huh?
I think it shocks me watching them actively roll, because I'm just you haven't seen it forever, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, and not like I was going to tattle any way. I don't need to mess this guy's day up. It's not my business.
Do you think this was how people were when we came out of Prohibition? Where they all of a sudden, you would see a guy with a bottle of bourbon and be like, that guy's got whiskey on him.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever be normal for me to see somebody just rolling joints and doing drugs while they're driving, which is not advised.
But it's normal for you to see a guy having a beer.
Not while they're driving.
No. I'm saying
that's why it was weird to me. He was doing it all in his car like it was his mobile office or something.
But he wasn't rolling, right? He was just sitting there.
He was not smoking it. He was just rolling them up.
Huh.
Yeah, so he was creating them.
It's the same as watching a guy put a 6-pack in the back of in his trunk. It's the exact same thing. You're just not used to it.
Right. I'm not used to it. But it was but the look over at me and then just kind of a nod,
You thought you a knock?
Kind of.
Maybe a knock.
I look like a narc. I look like I would totally tattle on you.
You absolutely look like an informant.
And you know what? I have tattled. And sometimes if you put me in that position, I'll tattle again. But I wasn't going to tattle on him.
Why would you tattle?
I don't know. If I think that I'm at risk, I'd be tattling. Okay.
How are you at risk?
But I was in no way at risk. He was not going to you better smoke this. I didn't feel threatened.
I don't think anybody with a bunch of weed is going to make you smoke their weed.
Yeah. I didn't feel like I was.
You watch so much TV.
I thought it was so
you watch
funny and
way
weird.
too much TV to be involved in anyone's life at all.
So I know that I always give you suggestions on things to watch, and I know you never will because you're just so busy. But Liam and I watched The Roof Man. Have you heard about this?
No.
Channing Tatum it's a real life story. He plays Jeffrey Manchester, who is currently in jail until 2036. He did this back in 2005. He's an escape artist. He used to be in the Army. And then he comes back and he realizes, I don't have any money. The government did me dirty. I have to do what I have to do to make money. But he was a very nice guy. He never went in threaten people, but he would go into businesses through the roof. So he would most McDonald's. Okay. So he would go in, he'd wait for the morning crew to get there, but he would time it out. So throughout the week, he'd do a stakeout and he would watch to see what days they do the morning shift, when they bring out the big bags of money. And then he would nicely have them put on their coats because he was going to lock them in the freezer. And one guy's like, I don't have a coat. He's like, you don't have a coat? What is wrong? And then he gives him his coat, so he's a nice robber.
That's the easiest way to get caught.
And then he finally gets caught. He goes to jail. He escapes from jail. And then
how do you escape from jail?
Yeah, he's that smart. He created this little ledge with this piece of board, spray painted it black under this truck. They gave him a lot of trust, he had their trust. And then he escapes, and then he lives inside a Toys R Us for a year. So
None of the cameras picked him up or anything?
He is that smart that he went into the CCTV program and he disabled the part that would detect any movement. So then he, at night, would shower or bathe in the bathroom, and then he'd go through their lost and found, put on clothes. He'd eat all the peanut M&Ms.
Was he doing it for the thrill?
No, he was trying to bide his time because he had a friend who made passports, and he was going to get a passport and go to the Dominican and just stay there.
That friend sucks at passports if it was taking him a year to get it done.
He was deployed again.
Oh.
So he was waiting for him to get back, and all the while meets this woman who works at Toys R Us. So he watches her through the TV system or whatever. He falls in love with her, and then she turns him in to the FBI.
That's how they'll do you. Guys, are you listening? That's
called the right thing to do.
You can live for her. You can do everything in your life to make it good for her. And the second she gets a chance, she will turn you into the police.
Listen, she had 2 daughters caught up in the mix. She's like, I have to turn him in. He'll never learn his lesson. And he didn't, because he tried to escape in 2009 and 2017.
Well, keep doing what you're good at.
Obviously, he's not, because he got caught. But it is totally worth a watch. One, it's Channing Tatum, so it's really worth it. But
you could live in any store for a year. What would it be?
I got to think of what I'd have access to. I'd say a Walmart. Duh. You'd have access to everything.
I'd go to Target. You could live in Walmart. I'll go to Target.
Oh, yeah. You really do think outside the
Costco
box.
would be an upgrade too, I think.
Yeah.
That'd have to be it. That'd have to be it,
alone.
Right?
They'd be like, where did all of them go?
Well, I mean,
we have to have someone living here.
Anywhere that they would like have the frozen chicken nugs, and you could get an air fryer, and you got all the clothes you're going to want, and some e-bikes, and
all you have to do is sleep all day up in the rafters and then come down at night.
It's got to be Costco. That's got to be the number one spot you're going to live. Costco or Sam's, right?
I guess. They do have beds and stuff there. They do have big like sleep sacks and
dog
stuff.
beds,
For sure.
love sacks. Oh.
God, you make good points.
I want to dig into this situation because I think a lot of us, we feel forced that we've got to go to these kind of going away parties.
I want you to start thinking about something you felt like you had to go to and you felt like you did yourself wrong. Like did yourself dirty. You're like, I should be at home right now. There's no reason that I need to be here. Nobody was like, oh, she's here, you know? And I'm going to tell you a position I was in the other day, but let's get to Mark.
Yeah, who's this for?
It's for a colleague of mine who, if I'm being really honest, I really don't like this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's going away, so it won't matter. Like he won't be in your life anymore, which is good.
Yeah, but the problem is I don't want to be known as the guy, as that guy. You know what I'm saying? We always have a good rapport. We get the job done. We're always very productive.
Yeah.
We work very well. But he's trash, and I cannot deal with this dude anymore.
You don't want to betray yourself by going, because is that what I'm getting from you? Like you feel like you would let yourself down by faking something like that?
Yeah. I got to stay true to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm professional. I'm professional to a point, though. But my lady is like, she's like, look, you need to go. You need to go to keep to keep the rapport, to keep the professionalism. And I'm like, look, I only got so much professionalism in me right now.
Mark, I can tell you this. As the guy who is already known around here as that person, it gets better when you stop caring. Like, I don't go to any of this garbage because I don't want to be there, and nobody now expects me to show up, and it's the greatest thing in the world.
This is one of those white lie situations. This is where you say, I got a dentist appointment. I have to go pick up my kids early from daycare. Something like that. So you don't betray yourself, and then you also don't look like a jerk at the same time.
You could even use, like, Nana died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you only get to use that once, right? Or twice, I suppose, if you're really fortunate. But I'm telling you, there's no reason to betray. You're going to feel horrible if you go to this thing and this guy is as trashy as you say he is, and you're going to come home and you're going to feel awful about yourself. Think about that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You know what? I am going to stay at home. That's all that is.
I convinced him.
I love this.